company, and the reasoning behind why we're even to this point, because before the pandemic, we had a fill rate of right around 90%, a little over 90%, if I remember correctly. But since we've been through the pandemic, that's dropped dramatically. And of course, we all see all the now hiring signs all the way across town. And so the job market is very competitive, and we have to do something to make sure that we're keeping competitive as well. Well, it's hard for us to manage not only our full-time staff, our substitute staff, our students, all of that. So we wanted to improve on the fill rates. We know that you get pulled in different directions when you get there to substitute because there's not enough substitutes to go around. We also know that it's hard on our teachers when they're having to fill classes with during their planning period. So we wanted to boost our recruiting efforts. Well, this is a company that has been established for some years, and we have other districts in the state of Oklahoma that have used them, and they've been remarkable on both of those points of being able to raise the fill rate and also to boost recruitment, because they'll have a dedicated person here in town to do recruitment efforts. You'll see them at the different venues around town, as well as setting up, of course, at job fairs, that kind of stuff. And then to promote retention, because once we get you and we know you're good, we want to keep you. So this company can offer several things that we can't, and some of those things were mentioned in the letter that you should have received in your mailbox over the last couple of days. And of course, that's the one thing that a lot of people need is they need health insurance. They need benefits with a job if they're going to commit to it. So they have health insurance marketplace that they can offer you health insurance and some of those benefits. And you should have received a letter from them that has some of that in it today as well. And we want to attract the best employees, and we know that we need to have the effort out there to attract those employees. We've got to have a person that has the time. So, but it's not only to attract them, but to keep them, and that it requires a caring and supportive environment. And I know that Dolores has been very supportive, but our resources are very limited. This is a company that only deals with substitutes. This is their one and only line of work is substituting. And then the offer of professional development. We are limited on what professional development that we can offer, but they have resources and availability of not only doing Zoom but also in person. Some of the things that they've told us is that they'll also do retention through monthly raffles. We have Teacher of the Year, Rookie of the Year, but we don't have Substitute of the Year. This is something that has just been overlooked. It's not that that's not a great idea, because we thought it was. But this company will be able to do an Employee of the Month and an Employee of the Year. They'll have different raffles for those that are consistent on substituting, that they can definitely keep it a little spiced up for us. But we are making this change on January 4th. So that's why it's so important for us to get this information out now, is we don't want to surprise you or confuse anybody by what we're trying to do. We're not trying to get rid of substitutes. We're trying to get it better organized and better supported through this company. Now, some of you have received your letters and had a chance to look over both the communication from the district as well as the communication from ESS. But do you have any questions before we continue?
I just received my letter today, so I haven't really done a lot of thinking.
Well,
I got the letter from LPS, but I didn't get anything from the company. I got an email from the company.
okay, the email is what I'm referring to.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Well, you should. It should be sent to your LPS email address. And if you don't have that set up on your phone or computers, please get with us and we can get you help on getting that set up so that you'll have the time. This company has been around for, like I said, several years. They've been on Forbes America's Best Large Employer from 2017 all the way through this last year of 2020. So it's a very well established company. We'll have an office on site that you'll be able to still come. I'm not sure exactly where that office is going to be located at this point, but you'll be able to still have that contact with us and with them. They'll be your contact for all things as far as payroll, everything like that. They will be able to pay you each week instead of waiting for a monthly check, which we all like to be paid as soon as we can for work that we've done. But the January 4th, that first week, the 4th through the 10th, whatever you work that week, you won't be paid it the following week, but it'll be the week after that, and then from there forward, then it'll be each Friday you'll be able to be paid for the work that you've done for those weeks prior to that. But they'll also be the ones that'll cover you as far as workman's compensation in case of injury. They'll be the ones that if you have anything to report, you can report to them. Of course, if it involves another LPS employee, then please, they'll either give us that information or my door's always open. And I probably should have said I'm Jean Hastings. I'm the Executive Director of Lawton Public Schools Human Resource Office. So I welcome you here. And I'm going to hope that you can get that in the right order since this is not live but just being recorded. So anyway, there's not a whole lot of information other than, that I can think of. I want to know who I'm being paid by, who I'm being hired by, but you're still associated with Lawton Public Schools. It's not like our doors aren't open for you any longer. But this will be able to provide you things that as a school district we're not able to provide at this time. And I think they've talked about ice cream socials, and so that you can, of course, some of this will be pending where we are with COVID at different times. But they do have ongoing training. There is a life support. There's client services that you would, if you had any question, if you got paid, you didn't understand something about your paycheck, you not only have your local offices, but you don't even have to leave home. There's a phone number that you'll be able to call and get the information that's needed to answer any questions. So that's something, and their hours are longer than our hours, so they may suit some of our substitutes better because of other schedules that you guys have. It's a management service, just like we've had Sodexo to manage our child care for some time now. This is a management service, and has hopefully you've seen those employees are still very much Lawton Public Schools involved, but you will still be as well. Dolores, what have I forgotten?
So everything will be about the same way it is now? The pay
will remain the same.
Mm-hmm.
The pay will remain the same. The hours remains the same.
Okay.
There's not any additional responsibilities as far as that goes. You're still doing the same job.
Okay, just different company.
That's a good question. Good question. Any other questions?
I did notice on the email we got from the company today, it said something about if you're already in the system with Lawton Public Schools, does that mean it's going to be a little bit easier to get signed up if we're already with Lawton
Yes.
Public Schools?
Yes.
I noticed there's a link on the email, and was trying to.
You guys have a new name. You're our district originals.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Okay,
looking
but
for.
I didn't get mine yet, okay.
So you're considered district originals, you're substitutes right now, and we will give, not priority, but we will give heed to getting you guys processed so that we don't have any lapse in our substitute services.
I saw there was a bunch of stuff on here that, they're going to want, information about your education and degrees and stuff like that. And I didn't know, because y'all have already got that information. Will that be passed on to them where we don't have to?
They will provide you a release, and if you sign that release, we will be more than happy to provide them any transcripts or diplomas that are on file, and also the information for your I-9. So that will not be a problem, but we will not provide that to them without the signature on a release. But they're well aware of that, and they have their own form to do the release with. Because yes, you're right. You've already done an I-9, and you've provided us documentation as far as your highest educational level.
So it's yours from the company, the email you got, sir?
Yes, it's from, it says ESS, which is the name, which is the name of the company. It says important message about substituting at Lawton Public Schools.
Okay, so
And then it goes on,
okay.
tells about
If you'll get with me, I'll make sure we have your email address and all that so that you get that information.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody that's watching this, if you have not received either of these communications, if you will contact Dolores Anderson, she can provide you both a copy of the letter that was sent into the U.S. mail as well as the email that was sent out by ESS.
I guess it says there's going to be an orientation, online orientation on Tuesday, November the 30th, and Thursday, December the 2nd. So.
Yes, now you'll need to click to RSVP for those meetings, the meeting that works best for you. But yes, Tuesday, November 30th, and Thursday, December 2nd at 4:30 Central Standard Time, there will be a Zoom meeting. And if you're unable to connect or need help in that way, we can set up so that we would be able to Zoom from this location and have a room set up so everybody can be a part of that. Any other questions? If you're watching and you have questions that we have not covered during this session, you are more than welcome to email Dolores Anderson, that's DANDERSON at lawtonps.org, or to call area code 580-357-6900. Thank you guys for being here today. It's 15 minutes, but short and sweet. But I think we got everything.
You might want to mention the bonus, like if you bring somebody on board.
Oh, that's right. This company, it does have a retention bonus, or referral program, that if you have friends that you want to refer for substituting, you can earn up to $2,700 per year. And if you're an employee of Lawton Public Schools and in a full-time capacity or part-time capacity, and you would like to make referrals to the substitute program, you too can benefit. It's not the $2,700, but it's $5,500 or something like that you too would be able to earn through referrals for the substitute program. But I was reading, if you go to ess.com, then you can read a little bit about this. I've read extensively on their employees, the comments that other employees have put on there, and I'm very happy that there's lots of pleased comments. Of course, there's also a blog that's got a lot of information about different activities that they've held throughout each month, and it'll give you an idea of what we're talking about the bonuses and the gift cards and things like that they're able to do.